if Treyveon Henderson does not go for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns, okay? No, bump that. If he doesn't go for 100 total yards and 3 touchdowns, I'm driving up to New England, and me and Mike Vrabel, we're going to have some words, man. We're going to have some words. There's going to be some furniture moving, all right? There's no reason. Welcome to the DY Prize channel. I'm your guy, DY Fly. And I'm so tired of these fraudulent ass head coaches, or these fraudulent coaches, period. Both Mike Vrabel and Josh McDaniel, just frauds beyond frauds, okay? I'm tired of them. Why? Look, it's not like they inherited Treyveon Henderson. All right, hold on. Before I start this, we're gonna get to my team. We're gonna get to my record and some tips and some players you should be looking at on the waiver wire. But I need to talk about this because this is pissing me off. It's not like Treyveon Henderson. They inherited Treyveon Henderson. They drafted him. So why would you draft this Reggie Bush-like athlete, this Jahmyr Gibbs clone, and not use him? So you're good with Ramondre Stevenson fumbling the ball away, fumbling games away, Antonio Gibson fumbling the games away, then putting up this juiced up. Look, man, it's not even about my fantasy team. It's not even about my fantasy team. It's more about how the NFL is just these coaches. It doesn't even make any sense. And for the idiots who are talking about, oh, it's because of his pass blocking. He doesn't pass block well enough. Shut up, okay? Shut up. Throw him the ball so he doesn't have to stay in there and pass block. How about that? Throw him the ball. And for the idiots who want to take it a step further and say, oh, well, that's going to tip off the defense for when he's in the game, they know they're going to throw him the ball. All you need to do is run the ball to keep the defense honest. That's all you need to do. It's not hard, okay? So I don't know what Mike Vrabel's problem is with Treyveon Henderson. I don't know why he doesn't want to win games unless you're telling me Treyveon Henderson is trash. And I have a hard time wrapping my mind around that because the first time this man put on an NFL uniform, he did a house call 100 yards on a kickoff return. Now, how many kickoff returns have we seen in the past 2 years? You can probably count on one hand. And this man has one of them. I don't know. Maybe Treyveon, he's not initiated enough, Maybe Ramondre, he knows when to fumble. Maybe he knows when to go down instead of, he doesn't want touchdowns. He wants fumbles, so it keeps these NFL games close. Since the NBA is rigged, right? Maybe the league, whatever. Josh McDaniels, just stop. He's done absolutely nothing since Tom Brady's been in the league. Then he falls into Drake May, who's been playing amazing, right? But let's be honest about the Patriots' schedule. Their schedule has been Charmin soft, okay? Let's stop. Have you seen who they played? Whole bunch of nobodies, tomato cans. If he doesn't go off this game, if it doesn't happen this game, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Look at this, man. He averaged 7.5 yards per carry. You're telling me you can't use him in the pass game? Man, stop. Stop. This fraud. Fraud head coach. Anyway, let's take a look at my team. You see it, the final boss.
To the competition.
Hold on, the final boss.
This is what happens when you fuck with the final boss.
That's right. I picked up Jacoby Brissett. It looks like he is good to go for Monday night. I picked him up yesterday before the news broke. And, I went to the waiver wire and I was looking to pick up a running back and I see his name just glowing in my face. And I'm like, what's going on? So I picked him up and then I started doing some research. Just like we got Eagles beat writers and reporters or whatever, they got Arizona Cardinal beat writers and reporters. So I just started YouTubing any information that I can get. And I found a fan who follows and reports on the Cardinals. And he basically said that Jacoby, he's going to start. And then I found some beat writers that basically reiterated the same thing. And lo and behold, we got the information this morning talking about Jacoby Brissett is going to start against the Dallas Cowboys ass defense. And I got him and Bam Knight starting. So I'm liking the matchup. I don't really like Monday night games. I like them a whole lot better than Thursday night games, which I'll get to in a minute. But I also got Brashard Smith. I think this Buffalo-Kansas City game is going to be a shootout. Personally, I think it's going to be a shootout. And Kareem Hunt, he just seems so obvious that I think Brashad Smith, he might get some, I might be talking myself into a circle or whatever, but I think he's going to get some looks. And I think if it's a shootout, then Brashad Smith has a chance to put up double-digit points, all right? I don't know. I like the matchup. I'll probably tinker with the lineup between now and Sunday. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. Justin Jefferson against Detroit. We got to hope that JJ McCarthy learned something while he was sitting down. All right. I thought he was going to be good. JJ, I even gave him a nickname, the Heartbreak Kid, and he hasn't been performing yet. So, we got to hope that he locks in on Justin Jefferson. I like the matchup with Detroit, though. Rome Odunze, he has a nice matchup with Cincinnati. We got to hope that Caleb Williams doesn't stink. Tyler Warren against Pittsburgh, the matchup is great. Treyveon Henderson, we just talked about him against Atlanta and their bottom defense. Jackson Smith and Jigba, yeah, man, he's been awesome. So he's going to continue that against Washington. Sam Darnold, you know what? I had him last year, and let me tell you something about Sam Darnold, man. He doesn't have 2 bad games in a row. I'll tell you that from last year's experience. But I will tell you against that game against the Houston Texans, he lost me that matchup. He lost me that matchup with the interception and the fumble. I was pissed about that. That's why I'm 3-5 instead of 4-4 right now. But it is what it is. I'm still in the thick of it. And for those teams that are 3-5 or 4-4, you just gotta hone in and you gotta pay attention. Like stuff like the Jacoby Brissett pickup, you got to hone in and try to figure out who's on the waiver wire and what your team really needs. And Seahawks defense, Washington, JD5, he's back in the mix, so we're going to see how that plays out. I picked up Eddie Pinheiro from San Francisco 49ers. He's been killing it. And we got Jalen Hitman Hurts. Hold up, Jalen Hitman Hurts.
The excellence of execution.
He is on a bye along with AJ Brown. I'm contemplating between sticking Rico Dwaddle in for Brashad Smith. I like the game flow and the game total of the Kansas City Chiefs and Buffalo Bills matchup. Instead, yeah, Rico, he's supposed to be getting more work over Chuba, so we're going to see what happens with that. Tet, I just decided to sit. I don't know what's going to happen with him and the short king quarterback that they got down in Carolina, so I don't know what's going to happen with him. Bayshaw Tootin, I'm waiting for that rookie buy bump. We're going to see what happens after this week. Devin Neal, he might be the sacrificial lamb if I want to pick up somebody else, which I'll get to in a second. Oronde Gaston, he's been great. I might stick him in instead of Brashad Smith, but I don't like the matchup against Tennessee, and it's not because of the matchup. It's because of Tennessee. They're not going to score any points that really make the Chargers have to pass. So I don't like that. And then I picked up Justin Fields. Somebody dropped Justin Fields, man. You got to understand, man. I started off this year with just Jalen Hurts as my quarterback. All right. Somebody else dropped Sam Darnold. They dropped Sam Darnold. I picked him up. And then this past week, somebody dropped Justin Fields. I picked him up. And then I just saw Jacoby Brissett on the waiver wire. So I picked him up. Now I got 4 quarterbacks. All right. And I hate having 4 quarterbacks, along with 2 defensive. I hate having 2 defenses too. But I just want to talk about roster constructions, okay? Like if you look at my roster construction, I have good quarterbacks and really, really good wide receivers or pass catchers. And I'm trying to figure out the running back situation. If I figure out the running back situation, nobody's going to be able to beat me. So if you have a running back situation like me, you need to be scouring the waiver wire at all times and seeing who is available, all right? Like if you look at this team right here, he has a pretty balanced team. He has Tua, CJ Stroud, not the greatest quarterbacks, but they're serviceable. He has Baker on the bench, Breece Hall on the bench, also on a bye. But you see his running backs, they're hammers. He has Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Taylor, Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, Jalen Warren, so he has some pretty good running backs. Now, if you have Jonathan Taylor, you need to have his backup on your bench, either DJ Giddens or, Amir Abdullah. Because if Jonathan Taylor goes down, that's going to nuke your whole team. Like I know he's been carrying your team if you have him. But a player I've been looking at is Brian Robinson Jr. I would pick him up, especially this week. The 49ers, they're going to be at MetLife Stadium playing on that sorry-ass field. If you have Christian McCaffrey, I would definitely pick him up, and I might drop Devin Neal to pick him up myself. But yeah, man, you see this. I am 3-5. I'm still in the mix. I do need this win this week, so we're going to see what happens, but I have a 42% chance of making the playoffs right now. If I get the win this week, we can just keep building or whatever, but I definitely need the win. How Operation Doomsday, he's 6-2. He already had Zay Flowers play on Thursday, but he has Drake May, Jahmyr Gibbs, Ashton Genty, Devontae Adams, Michael Pittman, Stephon Diggs, Keenan Allen, Matthew Stafford, the Chargers defense, Brandon Aubrey. He has a good team and he has some good matchups, so we're going to see what happens. I like my chances though. Everything has to hit right, getting the win this week. Everybody that has Treyveon Henderson, we might need to take a trip. We might need to take a trip up to New England if Vrabel's on that BS, all right? We're going to see. We're going to cross our fingers. And hopefully y'all get the win. I'm going to drop a Power Rankings episode after the games on Sunday. I've done maybe like 4 of them, but I haven't dropped any of them. So maybe this time I'll stop wasting time and I'll actually drop my work. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my Saturday. I hope you guys are out there being safe during this holiday, and check your candy, you know, some old school stuff. Hit the like button. I appreciate you watching. The final boss is getting the dub, and if you don't like that, you know the deal.
Nigga, you gonna get down or you gonna fucking lay down?